These days, I sometimes ask myself, is Corona a real tragedy? I mean, it is true that the pandemic is screwing up everyone's life, but is that all? The only thing we earn from this disease, is it just humiliation and anger? Well, my answer is no. I believe COVID-19 has landed on Earth for a reason. It came here to teach us something we have lost for a long, long time. Today, as we are suffering and struggling more than ever, we are also learning the most valuable lessons we will never forget, and I'm here to tell you guys what they are. The first lesson is about our independence. Along with the pandemic, the whole system that kept us going on had collapsed completely. Instantly, the world was in panic. Everyone realized how one could be so vulnerable when there was no system. No one could create and control their own life. We were all so much dependent. To share my story, I was quite thrilled at first when the government announced the extension of school vacations. But soon I began to miss my teachers, their nitpicks and scolding. I knew that I needed the rules and instructions. Why? Because I was a student who faithfully followed the system, but did not know how to make one. In that moment, the desire to change ignited inside my heart. I wanted to be independent, to be in control of my own life. So I began to plan and do things for myself. I woke up early in the morning, planned my day, and studied just like I went to school. And as days passed, I began to gain confidence. And for the first time in my life, I felt wholly devoted and in complete control of my life. Today, I noticed that people are starting to find their independence, their inner strength to overcome this trial. The pandemic has proven that self-management is no longer a choice, but an essential tool to survive in a world where our system, our safe zones, can crumble any day. So the very first lesson is this. What we need today is the ability to pioneer ourselves, build up our systems, and live an independent life. The next lesson is about the people around us. The pandemic broke down every community, every meeting we could imagine. Schools, companies, gatherings, church services were all canceled or got into a shutdown. But there was one thing, just one thing, that even Corona could not split apart, and it is our family. As online classes started a few months ago, I had to do everything together with my sister, and we fought every second, even with the most trivial issues. And I asked myself, why? Why is it now that I realize that I don't go along with her, learning how she thinks and behaves? Then the fact occurred to me. We never had the time to be together like this. We spent most of our days separately in our schools and rarely talked to each other in person. So honestly, our family was not a real family. We just lived our own lives, stuffed in our thoughts, indifferent to each other. But the pandemic taught us to shift our view, to focus on our home, our family. It allowed me to realize for the first time what kind of person my sister was. And I believe that today, everyone out there is learning like me, learning about their parents, their siblings, struggling to love the people they would be together for the rest of their lives. And that is what we all should strive for, regaining love and attention for our family. Because, after all, no matter what happens, families will survive. 2020, I want to call it the year of change and also the year of enlightenment. If the coronavirus ends today, tomorrow will never be like those days when we were ignorant and blinded by the busyness of the world. After this virus ends, people will be talking about the things they have never thought about before. They will contemplate how they can live a more independent life. They would treat their families with their hearts and souls, restoring the love they have forgotten for a long time. We would all be born again as warriors who found the pandemic bravely, by ourselves and with our beloved family. Thanks.